I feel like I owe you guys an update if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, especially since this summer, then you know that we have been trying to complete one of the most difficult tasks that a young family, maybe not young, but we have a kid who's still in school, any family for that matter, a task that any family can complete, and that is moving and selling your house. Throw in buying a house on top of that, and it's probably, I've had brain surgery, okay, and I had to go and find a surgeon I trusted and organize everything with my insurance companies and take off work and give lesson plans for 2 months to a sub so my class wouldn't miss a beat. I mean, I've done some hard things in my life, but this past summer, in which we bought a house, used a bridge loan, right, to buy the house. So that just means it's a loan that bridges us from the time we purchased the house we bought to the time that we sell the house that we were going to sell, the one that we were moving from. Used a bridge loan, bought this house, moved. It's been great. Moving was difficult, but it's been great. Been way closer to work. My son has enjoyed the social life of being close to his school and close to his friends. We were 45 minutes away prior to that. But we didn't know. What we didn't know, the piece we were missing, is that North Texas housing market, especially in the price range that we were selling our house in, is stone cold awful. We bought the house for $750,000 in 2019, right before everything exploded with COVID. And at one point in 2022, it was estimated about 1.3. So we were counting the money already, right? We didn't know when we'd sell it, but boy, when we sold it, it was going to be a windfall. And we wanted to give our son his senior year. He's a senior this year, so we were kind of forced into making that play happen this summer. Well, we put our house on the market around July 4th at 1.2, and it sat. I mean, we didn't get a sniff. Then we lowered it to 1.1. We had 2 showings. Then we lowered it to $1,035,000. And I guess that was right around where the market seemed to agree with us, because we started showing it left, right, and center. And about 10 days ago, a family from Ireland, they're coming in, they're moving to North Texas from Ireland, put an offer in at $980,000. Now, that's before any of the closing costs, that's before any of the realtor fees, that's before paying the prorated property taxes through October 21st, I think is when we're set to close. So we're going to net around 920, 925. A far cry from the 1.2, 1.1 that we'd hoped to get. But we negotiated them up to about 995-ish, and we're thrilled. Because if you go to Zillow and you type in the cities of Prosper or Celina, Celina, and you filter up to about $750,000 and up, look at how many houses are for sale. A lot of different people have a lot of different reasons why they think that area, that suburb, that area of north of Dallas is crashing so hard and people are fleeing so quickly. A lot of different speculations. But one of the ones I think is happening is people like us got in before the housing market exploded, and we have a little bit of equity in the houses, but we see it disappearing more and more every day. So the sprawl is real. Those areas are becoming way overpopulated, and people are just trying to find some peace and quiet. Plus, we had an HOA that we paid $135 a month for. And I think people are sick and tired of paying HOA fees. I know we are. And the new house that we have, 0 HOA fees. That was one of the biggest draws for us. Now, I only share that just to tell you kind of the state of mind I'm in as I make this video. So our inspection is tomorrow. Hold a good thought that we're able to get out of that inspection without any major repairs needed, and that we're going to close in about 10 days. So That's why I say the card market is way hotter than the housing market, although hopefully we've sold the house. The card market is scorching hot. You know this if you're paying any attention. If you're trying to buy or sell, you know how hot it is right now. I do think we're going to be in the holiday season, and I think some of this will slow down. But I don't think any of the iconic cards, I don't think any of these big-time cards that people want are going to lose any momentum. I really don't. I've been able to sell a bunch of sketches. Matter of fact, everything that I'm about to show you, all these pickups, this big brick right here of pickups, was paid for by about 7 or 8 sketch card sales. I even sold a Garbage Pail Kids SpongeBob because SpongeBob Topps Chrome is so hot. That sketch has sat on my eBay for probably 2.5 years, and SpongeBob is hot right now. So somebody made an offer and I accepted it. But another update, I think I sent, what was it, 9 cards to PSA to be just reholdered. That's all. They were accepted on, or well, I'll say this, tracking shows that they were picked up by an individual on September 16th. As I make this video, I'm not even sure what today is, but we're going on like day 22 that it's sat in queue, and on the PSA website, it says not received. It's supposed to take around 15 business days, so it's taken a week longer. And the clock hasn't even started yet. I feel like that is such a bullcrap way for them to extend. Why even have turnaround times when they don't start until you accept the package, until you intake the package? You can wait as long as you want, PSA, to intake the package. So why even have freaking turnaround? I'm so pissed off with PSA. But anyway, let's get into it. I won't take the time to show you the sketches I sold. Just know they're Garbage Pail Kids. I sold a Marvel, Captain Marvel versus Thanos booklet sketch. And I did also sell this 2018 red SSP Travis Kelce. That was one of the cards I sold recently. Got 300, I believe, for this. But eBay's been kind to me. About a month ago, I got this promotional rate on eBay where I was going to get 7.5% seller fees instead of 15%. And I clicked on it. I thought it was just going to be for one sale, but it ended up being the last 7 or 8 sales I've had. Matter of fact, if I sold a card tonight, I think I'd still get the 7.5%. And boy, let me tell you, that makes a humongous difference. So if eBay just stays right around the 7.5%, I think people will stop trying to go off platform to make sales. I really do. I think they would make more money at 7.5% and just from keeping people from going off platform than they do at 15%, and people are running and trying to find any other way to sell a card than through eBay. But that's just my 2 thoughts. Anyway, or that's just my 2 cents. There we go. Let's get into it. Let's see what I picked up. The first little stack here are nice cards, but they're just in the card savers here. Picked this one up recently at a card store. It's Bowman's Best, I believe. I don't know what year, 99 or some odd year. I don't know, but I thought it was a gold. It's unnumbered. I thought it was a gold when I picked it up. It's just a refractor, and it's a $5 card, and that's what I paid for it. So, but Sammy Sosa, Bowman's Best. I found a auction last Sunday. There were all kinds of stuff in it. It was one of those powerhouse sellers, but I look for Griffey stuff on auction a lot, and I came across a ton of Griffey stuff. So all these Griffey cards I won on auction, and they were all around, between $15 to $45 each of these. But I just love the Pacific Crown Royal. Pacific. There we go, Pacific. So back before Crown Royal was a standalone set, it was a subset in Pacific. And I believe these were late 90s. This is, what is this? I can't tell. This is a 98 Pacific Gold Crown right here, refractor. And die cut, as you can see. But this is where Crown Royal got its got its start right here as a subset for Pacific. These are just great cards, though. You can see the shine, and they're actually the gold refractor. They're not numbered, but I looked up pack odds, and the pack odds are pretty steep on these. So anytime you can run into a group of your favorite player that's getting auctioned off, and a guy like Griffey, who usually, as a buy it now, is going to have a premium. There's not a lot of guys that are just out there hungry to auction off Ken Griffey Jr. stuff. So when you can run into an auction that has several of a player like his cards, it's like being at a candy store. I mean, combined shipping, everything's being auctioned. So that was fun. I hung out and just watched auctions for, I don't know, maybe it was an hour and a half total the other Sunday night. And, you know, these aren't perfect. I mean, you know, these are raw, and there are some white spots here. You can see on the back here. The corner's a little soft, but still, these were raw priced. You know what I mean? They were not, I did not pay a lot of money for these. And then I got my first EX cards. And man, these things are, these are really great. I've gotten these before, but they've been graded. I have a couple Pudge Rodriguez EX credentials, essential credentials. These are just the base, the EX Century, I believe they're called. But these are heavy. These are really heavy duty cards, full acetate. Now, I did find out that eventually all of these will brown. So you can see right here, let me put it against this white. You can see how it's just a little, it's starting to get a little bit yellow there. So the clear EX cards will eventually, that'll brown, and it'll look like it's a gold. It's really kind of a pretty color the way it yellows, and it turns out to look like a gold parallel. And there's nothing you can do about it. According to what I've read, they're natural polymers in the plastic, organic polymers, and so that is just inevitable. They are going to, they're going to turn yellow, and it's just a matter of time. So, you know, get one, have fun with it, every stage along the way, right? The full color rainbow that it goes through. But these are super cool. Like I said, they're very sturdy, and Griffey stuff is really nice in this set. Gorgeous pictures. You know, the player kind of pops out, you know, kind of looks like almost like it's standing off of the acetate background there. And even when it, like I said, even when it yellows all the way, it's still going to look great. It doesn't look dingy. It gets kind of like a darker brown, and like I said, it starts to look gold. If you go on eBay, you can see what I'm talking about. And then finally, I got this. This is a, let's see, what year is this? 1996 Score. No, sorry, Fleer. 96 Fleer Zone. This was these were 1 out of 900 packs, so these were really hard to hit. Insert out of 90, what did I say, 98 or 96? Out of 96 Fleer. So this, I think, finished at like, what did it finish at? 38, 40 bucks. But gorgeous card in hand. I don't know if the camera's doing it justice, but these were fun. And the mail day was fun when they all came in. So yeah, I like to get these little card saver purchases every once in a while. All right, let's go into the graded stuff that I have been picking up. I recently sold this card in a 10, and it has since exploded. If you've sold any Kobe's or Jordans in the past year, God bless you, because you've lost money. Even if you've made money, you've lost money. I sold those Lightning and Thunders. You could go back a couple videos and see. I had a Jordan 7 and a Kobe 8. And I made $1,800 on the pair. I bought them one Dallas show. I sold them the next Dallas show. So in 2 months, I made $1,800. But essentially, I'm probably missing out on about $6K. The Jordan 7 alone went for $7,500 recently. Makes me sick. but it is what it is. Anyway, I had this in a tin, and I traded it toward the Dirk Atomic, Bowman's Best Atomic rookie that I have. And the tins are super low pop. It's very condition sensitive, the etching and these cards are just so gorgeous, and they're so detailed, and they're full of etching, and the surface is very delicate and shiny. But I mean, this looks like a 10. I mean, it doesn't have any markers on the front where you're like, oh, well, that's way off centered or whatever. But this costs $170, and the last 10 sale, I believe, was around $2K. I let mine go at around $1,500, I believe. So I made a couple hundred from where I got it. But if you're gonna show me a 10 and ask me to pay $2K, and show me a 9 and ask me to pay under $200, I'm taking the 9 all day. Anyway, so I wanted to get this card back in the PC as a non-10, let's just put it that way. And the 9s are fairly affordable. The 9s have gone up about $40 when the 10s have doubled. So, but yeah, you can get an 8 for around $130. But my thought was, why not just splurge for the 9 if you're just talking a matter of $30 or $40? So added that. Let's see, where are we going next? Let's go here. I've been wanting to add something of this player because I love this player. And it's been hard to narrow down exactly what card I wanted to get of his. I'll probably start a PC of his, Marshawn Lynch. But of course, I love X-Fractors. I love Topps Chrome X-Fractors. And so I thought about trying to find a nice 2007 Topps Chrome rookie X-Fractor. And you can find them out there. They're pretty low pop, but I promise you, even the 10s that I've seen are not centered like this. This is probably 49-51. I think this side is, I mean, ever so slightly bigger than this side. But sometimes I look at it and I think, nope, that's dead on centered. But anyway, I haven't seen one as centered as this. And so I generally don't like to pay up for 10s. But when it comes to centering, I'm going to pay up every single time. So if I can get a PSA 8 of a certain card and it's centered, I'll do it. But if I have to pay the 10 premium just to get a centered card, then I'll do that as well. So gorgeous X-Fractor. Probably going to look at adding some other pieces for Marshawn. But I do have, I'll show you this other one I do. So this is my second Marshawn card. I also have this Finest rookie. This is blue, and this is out of $299. Also a 10. The blue refractor, color match. Marshawn just being one of the coolest people, but also one of the most talented and one of the most relentless runners we've ever seen. There is a card out there. I think it's an Immaculate. And it's a dual auto on card of Bo Jackson and Marshawn Lynch. And the guy's asking $2K, which I don't know if that's fair or not. I think it's out of 25, but I'll show you the picture here. But it is just an amazing card. Of probably two of the hardest runners. Apologies to Jim Brown, maybe OJ Simpson. I don't know. I wasn't watching much football in the 70s, but okay. So this card I added because it's a gorgeous card. I had it in a 10. I wanted to re-enter it into the PC. This card I added because I was looking for another cool Marshawn Lynch card. Found it. It's centered. Paid up for a 10. Okay. Now the next two cards I added because I've been looking for them for a minute. As a matter of fact, one of these cards, and I'll show you it first, I actually made an offer on this exact card, and it was not accepted. And it was probably 2.5 times. My offer was 2.5 times what I paid for this. I guess the seller decided he was going to try to auction this and see where it landed. And it didn't turn out great because I got this for $310. Boom. Look at that. Jameis, National Treasures, Nike, swoosh, RPA out of 2, PSA 8, perfect auto. Why did I buy a Jameis Winston National Treasures Nike swoosh RPA? Because my son and I adore Jameis Winston. Talk about a misunderstood guy, man. Probably one of the best hearts in the NFL. Probably one of the best hearts in all of humanity, to be honest. I had no idea, when he was young and in the league, what a great teammate, what a great person that Jameis Winston is. I mean, of course he's foolish with his crab leg incident, his let's eat a dub incident. But he's in New York right now, and I guarantee you him and Jackson Dart are best friends. Who doesn't love some Jameis? In that game last year when he beat the Steelers as a Brown in the snow, and he came out afterwards and just said, "Thank you, Lord, for giving me the opportunity to play football tonight in the snow and to lead his team." I mean, he is the quintessential leader. He is who I think Keaton wants to be, that just kind-hearted, just real, like, easygoing, happy-go-lucky competitor, fierce competitor and leader for his team. So Keaton's been begging me to get some meaningful Jameis cards, and so I checked that box off with this one. Now, around the same time, a different seller got a little impatient and put another meaningful Jameis Winston card up for sale. Now, this one is not the exact card that I offered on. I actually offered on a 9.5 version of this. This is a BGS 9. But my offer on that card was 5 or 6 times what I paid for this. I paid $400 for this. You ready? Check this out. Boom. Look at that. The 2015 National Treasures, true 99, true out of 99 RPA with one of the sickest patches I've ever seen. Just gorgeous. It's a 9. The only thing it's missing, so it's got a 9.5 on centering, a 9.5 on edges, a 9.5 on corners, and an 8.5 on surface. So somewhere, somehow, maybe it's in the window here, I don't know. There's something on this card that Beckett didn't like, and if it had just bumped it up half a point to a 9 on surface, this would be a 9.5. But looks like it has a little chip in the case right here. Anyway, just gorgeous. I showed this to Keaton the other day when I opened it, and he stood up out of his chair and gave me the biggest hug and held it for 30. He gave me a 30-second hug when I showed him this. And the 9.5 that's out there, the guy wants I think he wants $2,500. And believe it or not, I offered $2,000 on it. and he turned me down, thankfully. Oh, man. Because I have no business spending that much money on a Jameis. But at $400 for this card right here, that's a no-brainer. So, easy deals, all brought to you by the sales of sketch cards. It's been easy. I tell you what, when the card market's going good, my sketches sell like candy. And then it'll go a few months and I won't get a sniff. But that's the way the house went too. So things are moving, buying, selling, and it's pretty fun. So there it is. There's the loot. Here's the Griffey's across the top, and then the Sammy at the very end. But there she is. I'll let you know how the house sale progresses, but hopefully this time next video, I'll be able to tell you the house is officially sold. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great week. See you on the next one. Dallas in 3 weeks, a month, something like that. See ya. Bye.